Welcome back to another episode of Learning to Cook on a Budget. I am so glad you're here. I have a delicious chili recipe for you. I'm going to tell you why this chili is so delicious, why it is going to be award-winning, and I'm also going to show you how layering this chili, just like we talked about in the homemade stock recipe and the pureed soup recipe, similar styles. In this case, we're going to be sauteing the aromatics with our ground beef in the Instant Pot insert on the saute mode, and then we will add our other ingredients and pressure cook it to perfection. I am going to use my pound of ground hearty crumbles. Please note that I have done some paid TV spokesperson work for pound of ground because I love it so much and I have to tell everybody about it. I'm just doing a little fun bonus and featuring it here over on our YouTube channel. So these are the hearty crumbles. These are frozen crumbles. You buy it frozen, store it frozen, and cook it frozen. And I'm just going to add these straight in to the Instant Pot insert with some garlic. We're going to keep it really simple. You could do a little bit of an onion if you wanted. Maybe I'll even add a little bit. You can hear the little crumbles. They're already frozen and they're going to cook perfectly here in the Instant Pot. Just going to add some garlic, friends, just straight up garlic, and a little bit of onion because you know me and garlic and onion. It's just like, especially with a chili. So I'm going to transfer this right into my insert, and I am going to do this upside down. I hope I can get it right. I'm going to tap saute, and it's already on the higher of the saute, so we're going to let this sit for a couple minutes, let it warm up. We will be right back with our sauteing and adding of our other ingredients. Our beef, onion, and garlic is starting to brown. I, of course, have my trusty spinella. I'm going to open the diced tomatoes, crushed tomatoes, and black beans. I'm going to do black beans with this chili. My favorite tomato with chili is crushed. It's just, I feel like the right consistency, and if I want to add a little hardiness to that, I'll even just do like a diced tomato like this. If you want to do a pop of spice, you could do diced tomato with the green chili. I'm not going to drain anything. I want all of it in there together, and so I'm just going to saute this, brown up this ground beef here on the saute mode with the pound of ground crumbles. However, you don't have to brown them. That's one of my favorite things about them, is I can just drop them in the Instant Pot, throw in the other ingredients without the saute mode. We're basically going to skip the step and just let the chili cook on the chili cycle for 30 minutes. And the beef cooks perfectly. It's also the right consistency, it's the right size pieces, and it just makes for a magical addition to the chili, the sauce that forms in the Instant Pot. So while we're waiting for this to saute, I'm gonna add these other ingredients in a minute. I wanna explain why award-winning chili happens in the Instant Pot. A lot of times you'll go to an event and it's this world famous chili or whatever. Most likely, they've done two things. They've simmered it a really long time to allow all of the flavors in the chili to really adhere together and mingle and marry, as they say. Another way that they could have cooked it is in a pressure cooker. Years ago it was in a stovetop pressure cooker. Nowadays we have the electric pressure cooker, which makes it really easy to do things like this, where we saute, add ingredients, and let it pressure cook. And the reason for that is when it's pressure cooking, it's the food inside of the pressure cooker is running through a heat and a pressure cycle. And as the heat and pressure cycle against each other like this, somebody make up a TikTok dance for that, as they cycle throughout that 30 minutes of the cooking cycle, the flavor really just does, the heat and the pressure infuse the flavor in such a special way, in a way that a stovetop can't do it, in a way the slow cooker can't do it. It's just, this is how you get your award-winning chili. So of course, really great ingredients. I prefer a fattier ground beef when I'm doing with ground beef. If you're doing it with like a chuck roast, if you're doing like hearty pieces of beef, I would use a chuck roast that you cut up into smaller pieces. That's going to have the fattier parts to it. We talked about layering our stock soup chilies, and the same applies here. We have, in this case, the meat, onions, and garlic as our aromatics sauteing, and this is pretty much sauteed, so I'll be able to turn it off here. to switch it over to pressure cooking mode. The next is adding in liquid and veggies. In this case, we're not going to be adding in any additional stock. There's enough liquid in the cans plus what's already in here to make that hearty sauce for the chili. So we're going to go, and this will be kind of like adding our veggies slash beans in this case. And then last, I am going to add seasoning to this before we cook it. I want that chili powder to be part of the seasoning that happens, and it's part of the flavor infusion that happens in that heat and pressure cycle. So I want all of this in here. The spinella is perfect for scraping these 15-ounce cans. All right, let's mix this together. You can already see the beautiful consistency of this chili. Those big pieces of garlic, I'll probably remove those, or I'll probably make sure I at least get one to bite. It'll be nice and soft once it's done cooking. I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of chili powder right in here and mix that up, and then we will switch it to the pressure cooking cycle. 2 tablespoons per my palm, as I do with most chilies. Anything like that I cook super often, I know that's gonna be just the right amount. And then I'm gonna mix this in, and then we will hit cancel to get off of the saute mode, and then we will switch it over to the chili mode. All right, so let me do this. Cancel. It's always funny doing things upside down. I'm gonna put the lid on and set the valve back to sealing. And then in this case, I'm just gonna hit beans and chili, which is basically high pressure for 30 minutes. So if your electric pressure cooker does not have the chili bean setting, just do high pressure for 30 minutes. We're gonna set this aside, let it naturally release probably for about 10 minutes, and then our chili will be ready. Pardon the bacon simmering in the background. That's for the next recipe. All right, so here we have our chili cooked to perfection, and I'm going to just ladle it right into our bowl, garnish, and it's lunchtime around here today. Make sure I get one of those pieces of garlic, huh? There it is, right there, front and center. All right, so here we have our amazing chili, this award-winning chili cooked in the slow cooker. That pound of ground in there is just the right consistency, that really great 100% natural ground beef. And then I'm going to literally top it off with a little sour cream. I like to do this when it's super warm because then it gets a little melty, just kind of melts into the chili. A little cheese as well. And last but not least, a little bit of crunch from some green peppers. And here we have just the most magical bowl of chili that you can make, the Instant Pot can make in 30 minutes. One last thing before we wrap it up here today. I like to let the electric pressure cooker naturally release all of the pressure. That gives it a few more minutes. It's about 10 minutes or so. It gives it a few more minutes for that flavor infusion to happen and really deepen that flavor into the sauce to give you that really fantastic chili. So just wanted to add that real quick before we go. So if you learned something new, please like this video, leave a comment, check below the video. You'll find the recipe, links to the different products that we used in today's video as well. And please subscribe to the channel as we're releasing new episodes in the Learn to Cook on a Budget series at noon Central Time on Wednesdays. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.